book of Esther. Queen Esther, seized with mortal anguish, had recourse to the Lord. She lay prostrate upon the ground together with her handmaids from morning until evening and said, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob, blessed are you. Help me who am alone and have no help but you, for I am taking my life in my hand. As a child, I used to hear from the books of my forefathers that you, O Lord, always free those who are pleasing to you. Now help me who am alone and have no one but you, O Lord, my God. And now come to me, an orphan. Put in my mouth persuasive words in the presence of the lion, and turn his heart to hatred for our enemy, so that he and those who are in league with him may perish. Save us from the hand of our enemies. Turn our mourning into gladness and our sorrows into wholeness. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Lord, on the day I called for help, you answered me.
Lord, on the day I called for help, you answered me.
I will give thanks to you, O Lord, with all my heart, for you have heard the words of my mouth. In the presence of the angels, I will sing your praise. I will worship at your holy temple and give thanks to your name.
Lord, on the day I called for help, you answered me.
Because of your kindness and your truth, for you have made great above all things your name and your promise. When I called, you answered me. You built up strength within me.
Lord, on the day I called for help, you answered me.
Your right hand saves me. The Lord will complete what he has done for me. Your kindness, O Lord, endures forever. Sake not the work of your hands.
Lord, on the day I called for help, you answered me. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks the door will be opened. Which of you would hand his son a stone if he asks for a loaf of bread, or a snake if he asks for a fish? If you then, who are wicked, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your heavenly Father give good things to those who ask him? Do to others whatever you would have them do to you. This is the law and the prophets. The Gospel of the Lord. There are all kinds of reasons why we don't ask, seek, and knock. And the first is satirized in a famous scene in Mark Twain's Huckleberry Finn, where Huck hears a preacher talking about this particular passage, and so Huck goes and prays for a bicycle, which does not turn up. And then Twain writes, he never gave another thought to religion again. Okay, there you have it. That's one way. But I think sometimes also we don't ask and seek and knock because we're afraid of what the answer is going to be. We'd rather not have that answer so we don't go there. And that happens. I think of Ahaz in the prophet Isaiah, where God through the prophet says, ask of a sign. Ask from the Lord. Nope, not going to ask. Don't want to tempt the Lord, okay? Ahaz is blowing God off is what he's doing, okay? He gets the sign anyhow. But he didn't want to ask. He didn't want to go there, okay? I think very, very often we're afraid of what the answers might be. We're afraid of what might be on the other side of that door. If we knock and we have to go in, are we going to confront the living God and maybe we're not ready for it? I remember having a dream, this was years and years ago, where I was kind of slip-sliding down like a boat ramp into a river, you know? And it was one of those things where I couldn't open my eyes. It was one of those horrible things. But why couldn't I open my eyes? Because I was in the darkness? Well, I was because I had my eyes closed. But in fact, it was because everything was so bright and everything was something that would be washing me along rather than washing me out, if you know what I'm trying to say, you know? But I couldn't open my eyes to accept what the reality was. Sometimes we won't go through that door because we're afraid of knocking. Is it the lady or the tiger on the other side, for example, you know? And yet God promises us that if we will seek, if we will ask, if we will knock, whatever it looks like, the blessing will be there for us, and that all things will work to the good. So today, if we're knocking, if we're asked to knock at the door, if Jesus is knocking at the door on the other side, asking to come in, let's say yes and say, okay, God, surprise me. Let us stand and pray.